Good evening, YouTube viewers and subscribers. On the table today, as many of you can tell, right away I had a Saito engine. And this is a Saito FA-80 Gold Knight engine. And it's an engine that I believe dates back to prior to 1992. And I'll explain why I think that before I start looking inside of this engine. But I want to show you how nice and pristine this engine is. Now, the thing is that tells me that this is probably prior to 1992, which is when Horizon Hobbies purchased the exclusive rights to distribute Saito engines. Now, I don't know, many of you may know this, some of you may not know this. There were at least two different variants of the FA-80 throughout history. Possibly more, but I know two for sure. And I think when I say possibly more, the others were just very minor changes. Now, the very first FA-80 came out in 1987 and was reviewed by both Peter Chin and Clarence Lee. And the funny thing is that was considered the high compression engine. And it's funny because if you look at the beginnings of both of these articles, they both calculated different compression ratios for these engines. But I've always gone with Clarence Lee's assessment of saying that the high compression engine was a 15-to-1 ratio and not the 12-to-1 ratio. And the reasons I'm saying that I believe that this is one of an early Saito, a pre-1992, not necessarily a high compression, because I don't know for sure and I won't know until I get the head off. For several reasons. First of all, if you look at the throttle valve here, let me turn my thing just like, okay. You look at the throttle arm here. It's a metal throttle arm, but you see how it's got this bit, it goes out and then up. Most modern Saito throttle arms are either just the metal when they came in the yellow or gold and black box, and then the white box were metal and they went straight up. The throttle arm went straight up. And then they switched over to a plastic throttle arm, which was the same thing, just straight up. This one you can see here comes out and goes up, which is exactly what the throttle arm looks like on the carbs on those first two generation Saito engines. The other reason is going to be a little bit harder to see here, but maybe if I can get the glare just right on here. Engines distributed by Saito or by Horizon Hobbies all bore a mark just like the one I'm putting up here on the screen now. A stamp, usually on the bottom of one of the lugs. As you can see here, there is no diamond HH stamp on this. So those two things are the things that make me really think that this is an early pre-1992 engine, if not maybe even a high compression engine. The other thing is this exhaust. Now, when I first looked at this, I didn't think this looked like a stock Saito exhaust. This is not what the exhaust looks like that's in that the review articles. So it's clearly not that generation. I think Gold Knight engines came out after that. But I have seen other Saito engines that have exhaust tapered like this. Many don't. The 50s and some of the later ones they did. And they changed their exhausts a lot. So if this is period correct and original through this engine, that's yet another clue. So enough of that. Let me start and talking about this engine. Now, this engine has absolutely no compression whatsoever, and I think I can see that we've got an exhaust valve that is stuck in the down position. So I'm going to start doing my quick look inside here. Now, clearly this is a used engine. It's not new, but it could be rather old, as I've already discussed. And here's another thing. Saito 80 engines, it has a throttle stop screw. Now, all Saito engines had throttle stop screws, at least initially. And then that was kind of one of those cost reduction things that sort of went away on the 56s, some of the later 56s, 91s, and all that stuff. So reducing parts count was something that was always kind of a cost-cutting measure, at least in my estimation. Now, I have looked on eBay at some other Saito 80 engines, even ones in the gold and black box, and they seemed like they still had this. Now I know that the throttle or the carb for the 80, 65, and 90 are all different because there's different bores. Maybe they all use the same, or they had a different throttle body. I don't know. But this arm, this throttle stop screw all help me to believe that this is a pre-1992 engine. This has a very strong smell of, I believe it's like PB Blaster. It smells familiar. It smells like something I have on hand, but not something I typically use. To me, it just seems like PB Blaster. Maybe it's Corrosion X. I don't know. But I can smell a very strong smell of something in here. Oh yeah, look at this. Okay, so here's what the inside of the rear cover looks like. Like I said, it's a used engine. Now let's look in here, see how bad this looks. I'm certain I'm going to have to replace bearings in it, which is fine. I have bearings. Anyway, so here's the inside of this. Let's see how lucky we're going to get with removing, or at least breaking loose these head screws. Now, the other thing that I can tell, and I'll get more to that when I get the head off, is that if this is a high compression engine, it has a piston that has like a little dome or crest on the top of it. It's not something that you can see typically by looking down the glow plug hole, unless you've got a really good flashlight and really good eyes and a magnifier. But now these were off in the ad on eBay. Well, here's a problem right here. That push rod is not in the cup there. Neither of them are. So that's not a good thing. So both of these valves are down, so that's not good. Let's go ahead and get this head off here now. Oh, wait a minute. Before I do that, in my best interest, to see if I can loosen these pins here. Those valves are just stuck down. So what I'm going to do here, short experiment. I'm going to put some 3-in-1 oil on these, and I'm going to just use my heat gun and heat that up and see if we can just get those valves just to pop up. Because if we can't, I might have to be replacing some springs. And that's not something I really want to have to do, but hopefully you'll be able to see if these valves pop up. There went one, the exhaust valve popped. And there went the intake valve. I don't want to touch them because they're probably pretty freaking hot. Yeah, they are. Anyway, so let me zoom back out a little bit here now. So just by applying heat, oil and heat, I was able to get those, at least the valves to pop back up into place. Whether the springs are completely compressed and still any good or not is not known yet. Okay. Alright, so that's free. I think I got this head pretty damn hot, unfortunately. Let's see if I can pull this thing out. Now watch, see how much compression there is now? I could yank this out, but I don't really want to do that. But I do need to depress the valve so I can get this thing out. Okay, Now before I show you the piston, and before I even look at the piston, let me put that rag down and let's look. Okay, so shit. That sucks. Okay, so it only sucks in that this is not a high compression engine. If it was, you'd see a very visible dome here. Now I have a domed piston from a high compression FA-85 that maybe I've got a picture of, and I can put an image up here so you can see what it looks like. But so crap, this is not a high compression engine. However, if you look inside here, let me look in here, stick my head in there. It doesn't look like it's an incredibly high runtime engine, so that's a plus. I mean, looking at this, it doesn't look like a very high runtime engine, so that's a very good thing. I'm not going to need to replace the piston ring or anything like that. Let's see, these valves. Ooh, that exhaust valve is still pretty sticky. I'm probably going to end up having to pull those out. But anyway, I'm going to end this here and do the rest of this off camera, but I did want to show you an inside look at, you know, I still believe that this is a pre-1992 engine just because of the fact that there is no Saito Diamond double H's on the lug, so I know it's a pre-1992. However, unfortunately, it's not a Gen 1, which is a high compression engine, but it's still a beautiful Saito FA-80 Golden Knight engine, which I'm going to be a proud owner of, and I'm going to get this thing back in operational shape and get it running again.